Hi guys, today we're going to be doing a friendship bracelet pattern 46061 from friendshipbracelet.net. I will post a link below. And basically it's this cute guy here. I don't know how well you can see that, but it's the bows with the dot in between. It is a 1-2-1-2 pattern, which means that every even row we will be taking strings out, the first and last, and setting them aside. So you can see the annotation would be this here. A little greater than, less than signs. Okay, so I am going to be using red and yellow today. Red is going to be the background, yellow is going to be the bow, so I have it already set up. And we're going to begin. So my A string is actually going to be my red. My B string is my yellow. So we are going to start off by doing actually a backward forward knot with the yellow over the red. So backward, forward, and this is row 1 that we're beginning on. Okay, the next is going to be our 2 reds, and that's going to be simply a forward knot. So 1, 2, onto our yellows for a forward knot. 1, 2, and the reds are actually going to be a backward knot. So 1, 2. Now we're going to take the outermost string, so it's the red on this side and the red on this side, and put them aside. Now we're going to rematch everything up. So, and this is where it gets a little interesting at first because they want to bunch together. But you're basically going to repair all your strings up. So, these 2 are the ones that I've cast out, and I've got 1, 2, 3 groups. So, moving down to line 2. This one's actually going to be all knots with the yellow. So the first 2, yellow over red for a forward knot. 1, 2. Your second set is going to be a backward knot, yellow over the red. 1, 2. Your final one is going to be yellow over red, forward knot. 1, 2. Now we're going to bring our strings back in and repair up. So we're always working in pairs. And once you get going, you'll know basically what strings are going to go with what. They'll just fall into place. Okay, so red over red, row 3, we are going to be doing a forward knot. And I'm not sure if I mentioned this before, so I'll mention it now. There's actually 12 steps to this pattern. So right now we're on step 3. Okay, 2 yellows, once again, forward knot. Okay, next grouping, which is my reds, forward knot. And remember, you're doing 2 knots for every 1 knot in the pattern. And now, with our last one, yellow is actually going to do a forward backward. So here's my forward, here's my backward, which basically means my yellow thread is ending up in the same spot. So going to row 4, and because this is a 1-2-1-2 pattern and we are on an even row, I'm going to take my leftmost and my rightmost strings and set them aside and repair up. So I'm kind of doing this as I go. And pair up, you can go aside. So we will be starting here, and my red will actually be doing a forward knot. 1, 2. Yellow will be doing a forward knot. And let me know if you have any suggestions or whatnot for while I'm doing these. This is one of my first videos, so the setup is a little different. And my last knot here is actually a backward knot with the yellow. Okay, bring our strings back in because we're going down to row 5. So those will go together, those will go together, these will go together. And don't worry if your strings get a little mixed up, because like I said, if you look up near the knot, it will actually separate itself. So my red is going to do a forward backward knot. So there's the forward, here's the backward. Next one, red is a forward knot. 1, 2. Okay, yellow is going to be a forward knot. A minute here. 1, 2. And last but not least, we've got the red is a backward knot. And I can actually post this down below in the description for you so you can follow along if you don't want to print out the pattern. Down to row 6. I'm going to take out my outermost strings, go from there. I'm going to resplit. And like I say, now I'm getting to the point where they just split on their own. I can tell where they're going to be. So red for a backward knot, yellow for a backward knot over the red. And I hope you guys can somewhat see what's going on here. And we are going to do yellow forward knot. Okay, so we are going down one more row. We're going to bring our strings back in, pair off. Okay, so starting off row 7, we're going to do red over red for a backward knot. And I apologize if you can hear whistling, that is my mother-in-law. She loves to whistle. Okay, yellow for a backward knot. Next up is red, and that's going to be a forward knot. Sorry guys, I'm trying not to sneeze here, so if I sound funny, that's why. Okay, and last but not least, this yellow is actually going to be a forward backward. So here's the forward, and here is the backward. Okay, row 8, so once again, we're going to take the outermost strings. Actually, should be that string there. Okay, here, here, and here. So down to row 8, we're actually going to start off. These are all going to be yellow knots. So yellow over red for a backward knot. 1, 2. Okay, yellow over red for a forward knot. 1, 2. And then we are going to go yellow over red. Backwards. Okay, now we are on to row 9. We're going to repair everything back up, bringing our strings in that we had separated before. We're going to start yellow over red with a backward forward. So backward, forward, and then we're going red over red for a forward knot. Okay, 1, 2. Okay, yellow over yellow for a forward knot. And I'm sorry, this probably isn't coming out the prettiest here The way I'm working around the tripod makes it a little hard to completely see what I'm doing. And the last will be red, backward knot. 1 and 2. Okay, so just trying to figure out what I did here. No, I'm good. Okay, so we're going to take our outermost strings because we are on row 10. Okay, so pair everything back up. 1, 2, 2, 1, 2. That's how I always know it's a 1-2 pattern, if I gotta count it out in my head. So we're gonna do red over yellow, backward knot. 1, 2. We're gonna do red over yellow. 1, 2. And red over yellow. 1, 2. Okay, now we're down to row 11, which means we're going to bring our strings back in. Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Okay, starting at the left, we are going to do red over red for a forward knot. 1, 2. Okay, we're going to do yellow over yellow. 1, 2. Red over red for a forward knot. 1, 2. And this is going to be a funny one again. We're actually doing a backward forward with red over yellow. So 1, 2. Okay, we are on to our last row, row 12. Because it's an even row, we're taking out our outermost strings, repairing back up. Okay, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. This is actually going to be all red knots again. So red over yellow for a forward knot. 1, 2. Red over yellow for a backward knot. 1 and 2. And then we're actually going to do red over yellow, forward knot. 1, 2. Okay, so that is our whole 12 rounds, which gives you basically, and I'm not sure how well I can zoom this in, but I will see what I can do here for you guys. There we go, that's not too bad. You'll be able to see that I actually have the bow and the dot is one full round. So if I can grab my example bracelet here that I had done up before. Okay, you've got a bow right here, and then a dot, bow, dot, bow, dot, bow, dot. So that's 4 repetitions of the pattern here. Okay, so once you've gotten down, we're to 12, you're just going to take things up and go back to your first, let me zoom out here, your first row. So if you're looking at the pattern, and I think I need to zoom out a bit more for you guys. The way I do it is I use a sticky note. Here we go. Row 1, row 2, row 3, row 4, and just go all the way back down and repeat it as many times as you need to in order to get your bracelet. Alright, bye guys.